To be honest with you, it's been a minute since I've been excited for a Polo release, and last year there was one that kind of flew under the radar. I talked about it here on the channel. It was one of the best releases designers from last year, which was Polo Oud. If you guys missed that fragrance, definitely check it out. It's definitely worth trying. But this one here is the newest drop from Polo Ralph Lauren. This is Polo 67 Eau de Toilette. This one here could be a great spring and summer fragrance as I look at the note breakdown. So stick around, let's see what this one is all about. Welcome back to another video. 𝗥𝗿𝗄𝗿 here. If you do love to make a great and lasting impression, smelling good is a great way to do that. Today we're talking about the newest from Ralph Lauren, Polo 67 Eau de Toilette. Looking at the note breakdown, it gives you the note of pineapple up top, amongst other notes. So could this be another 𝗃𝗏𝗏 clone? We know that Montblanc did that with 𝗥𝗿𝗄𝗏 a few years ago, I believe in 2018. So could Polo Ralph Lauren be doing the same thing and starting to take notes from niche fragrances that are very successful, such as 𝗃𝗏𝗏? Let's find out. Let's kick things off here with presentation and price point. Looking at the box here, we have this dark blue with the white trims, which also has a silver lining in the middle. It's dark blue with white and silver, white lettering. It says Polo 67, established 67 Ralph Lauren, which is actually the year Ralph Lauren started his brand back in 1967. And if you look at the motif here of the logo, it is also reminiscent of a font that's usually used in baseball. Speaking of which, the face, the ad campaign face for this fragrance is actually Aaron Judge, the baseball player. And Polo 67 is available in two main sizes. You can get the 125 ml 4.2, which I have here, for $108, or you can go up a size, 6.7 for $138 USD. You can buy the new Polo 67 at your general store. It's quite readily and widely available now, or you can go directly to the Ralph Lauren website and pick yours up if you want to. So let's crack this open and see what we get out of this one. Now, looking at the bottle itself, by the way, this is a refillable bottle, which will unscrew from the top of the collar, and you can just take it to your store and they'll charge you a smaller fee, smaller than a bottle would be, to give you an actual refill if you wish to do so. When you look at the bottle itself, it's going to be all blue with a metallic blue cap and a white color, which says Ralph Lauren all around. The Polo 67 logo is right there in the middle. Let's look at the sprayers. Pretty good actually for a designer. This is actually one of the better ones. And the room right now smells quite divine. So I'm gonna have to say that the first blast here is going to be one that if you do try this in the stores, you're going to want a bottle for yourself because it smells that good. So let's put it on the bladder and also on my arm here so I can get myself the whole experience. Okay. All right, so right off the bat, the apple that it talks about in the notes is not that very, it is fruity, but it's also a sweet and creamy kind of a pineapple. Not a pineapple that I was expecting. I was expecting more of a fruity, juicy kind of a pineapple. It is juicy, but it's also a little bit creamy. I'm getting like an 𝗵𝗏𝗏, almost vanilla feel here. So it's almost that, well-known, sticky, sweet kind of a pineapple deal here, which in all fairness, it's nice, but it could have been better. That's just my opinion. But the good news is this is not, or it could be a bad news for you, but for me it's a good news. It's not going to be a clone of 𝗃𝗏𝗏. Does not smell anything like 𝗃𝗏𝗏. So with that out of the way, let's continue here with the first impression. It is sweet. It is a little bit floral. I'm getting some floral, nuances here, and there is a very nice woodiness coming through as well. Now, looking at the note breakdown, it's talking about aquatic notes, calabrian bergamot, and lavender. That lavender is definitely prevalent here. I also get clary sage, which is giving me this aquatic / green and woody kind of component to the fragrance, along with that juicy, fruity pineapple that's starting to tone down a little bit, but the sweetness and the fruitiness of the fragrance, along with that aquaticness and that green tinge, I think will stay here throughout the whole life of the fragrance. That's what I'm thinking. As I'm trying to decipher this fragrance here on paper, on blotter, and on my skin here, I'm thinking that this fruitiness, along with the 𝗵𝗏𝗏 feel that's very common these days, will stay here from beginning to end. So if you do enjoy the fragrance in the opening, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised that this is probably going to be what you're going to be left off with. I don't think there's going to be much transition going on with this fragrance. It's going to be one of those more linear type scents. In the heart, they talk about the clary sage that I talked about, which again with that lavender will give you that green, a little bit more mature, but still very playful, very sweet here. The fruitiness with that 𝗵𝗏𝗏 and tonka are going to be the main players here. Set the report. The fragrance will have some nuances of a lot of the mainstream designer fragrances of today. So if you're familiar with all of those 𝗵𝗏𝗏, tonka, vanilla type of situation here, that's going to be very similar to a lot of fragrances. It's up to you to actually rock it on skin to make sure you like this one more than the other ones. The difference here, or the differential here, will be that aquatic and pineapple burst that you'll get up top, which, you know, it's quite nice. In the base, it talks about these woody notes like Haitian vetiver, sandalwood, and patchouli. The patchouli here is adding to this sweetness that I'm talking about. It's not a dry patchouli at all, along with the sandalwood, making it very creamy like I talked about. Creamy, sweet, woody, and again, with that 𝗏𝗏 and vanilla. Vanilla is not listed as a note, but I definitely get a little bit of a touch of a hint of a vanilla here that's offering support and even more density to that sweetness that I'm not really a big fan of. I wish that sweetness was rather toned down here, and I wish this was more of a citrus, fresh, aromatic fragrance for the spring and summer. This is actually not heavy, but definitely denser than a lot of the, you know, aquatic fragrances in the market. So this is something that you could potentially wear as a signature scent or all year round, because it's heavy enough to wear, I'd say, summer nights, definitely spring, definitely fall, and even early winter. Although POLO 67 leans a little bit more youthful and playful for a younger crowd, I do think that an adult or someone that enjoys sweeter fragrances will definitely enjoy this one. It's not a bad fragrance by any stretch of the imagination. It's actually pretty pleasant, but to be honest with you, it is a little bit more of the same. It's that time of the video that I edit and come back to the video after I pause it and tell you guys a little bit of the development that I've gotten on my skin. Again, this has been about 40 minutes or so. It hasn't been hours wearing the fragrance, but it has definitely developed on my skin. The fragrance on the blotter remains very, you know, linear. On my skin, it's actually starting to develop a little more. It's getting a little less of that sweetness that I talked about and giving me more of those herbal, clary sage, lavender components that I do favor in my fragrances. Perhaps those, the vetiver chord, along with the patchouli and other of the woodiness of the fragrance will start to come through as the fragrance warms up and dries down. I don't think this is going to be a screamer though. I don't think it's going to be one of those really long-lasting fragrances. I think this is going to have between 5 to 6 hours in performance. So I'm thinking, you know, average or below average, give or take. But like I said, it does have some of the heavier notes that perhaps will push this into, you know, 7 to 8 hour, you know, performance territory. I don't know yet because I haven't really given this a full day's worth. But on the first impression here, this is actually a good fragrance. Not great. I would say it, as always, try it before you buy it. And you can do that at perfume.com. Use my code MAX12. All details below where I got the fragrance. If you want to test it, if you want to try it before you buy it, everything else in between will be listed in the description of this video. And of course, let me know your thoughts. If you guys have tried the new POLO 67, have you liked it? Do you hate it? At any given rate, I'd love to read your comments. And of course, your support is appreciated. If you do enjoy the channel, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more, and I will see you guys right back here with another video very soon. Take care.